Hi, I'm Rita Wilkins, also known as the Downsizing Designer. So I'm glad to be with you again tonight. On Tuesday, I was talking about something downsizing, decluttering, or lifestyle design, and now also minimalism. So the first steps to take if you are in your 60s and you're planning to downsize. So if you are in your 60s or if you're about to turn 60, this blog and this post will be for you. So chances are there's a possibility that you have been talking about moving to a smaller home when you retire, and at least it's been on your mind. So, and because it's such a big lifestyle change and one that will make a difference for you for a very long time, it's one of those that requires some time and effort to weigh both the pros and the cons so that you can make the right decision based on whatever your individual preferences and circumstances are. So if you do decide in favor of downsizing, it will require a lot of planning. So it's important to take the time. The process of downsizing can be overwhelming, but if you understand what the process is itself, it'll be far less overwhelming because you can take just one step at a time. And having been there myself, that's why, I love sharing this with you, because it is really just a process and you're not alone. So if you just kind of think of it in steps, then it's not nearly as overwhelming. So if you are downsizing, what are 5 steps that you can take right now to get you started? So number 1 is to know why you want to or have to downsize. So if you're retiring, if you become an empty nest, the kids are no longer there, the house feels much too big, that's really a good reason for many people to say that's why we want to downsize. So you're ready for a new, simpler, easier lifestyle. You want less space, less stuff, and also less maintenance. And you want more time, money, and freedom, as well as energy, to have that new life, to fulfill on your bucket list, to travel, have more adventure, and also for personal growth. So in addition to retiring and becoming an empty nest, another why that many people downsize is for financial reasons. So if you want to downsize or if you need to downsize to reduce expenses, lower your costs, and increase that income and savings for your retirement. And then a third reason that people do choose to downsize is life change. So things happen. Sometimes there's health crises. Certainly aging is very much a part of it, making sure that you have the proper kind of environment that is going to be safe for you as you age. Another one is death of a spouse or a partner. That changes your life completely, and it might be a good reason to downsize. And then, of course, divorce, separation, some of those kind of things. Those are life-changing things that would be a why to downsize. The second thing of the 5 steps is create a vision for what you want and where you want to live. So this one certainly takes a little while. It takes some discernment and some soul searching. Number 1 oftentimes is I just want to be closer to my kids and my grandchildren. This afternoon I got an opportunity to spend quite a bit of time with my granddaughter because she's only 15 minutes away. That's a gift that I have, and many people choose to live near their families so that they can continue the closeness and also then to get to know the kids. Another vision for what you might want and where you want to live is something smaller, more affordable, definitely more manageable. Because as we age, that yard that we used to spend hours and hours in doesn't quite look as desirable. So something smaller that's more manageable. The other is 1-floor living to accommodate future needs for aging. Those stairs going up or going down every day are just an opportunity to fall, and anything you can do to prevent that. So 1-floor living is definitely part of most people's vision. Another one might be active community. Now, not everybody wants to live in a 55 plus, but There are many communities that are just active with people of similar age, similar interests, so that you can have new friends and new activities. I know my brother and his wife moved to a place west of Boston, and they never would go back. They just love where they live, and all these new friendships and new things for them to do. And another one that people are always asking for is being close to a hospital, doctors, retail, restaurants, cultural events, schools, and then public transportation. And then another one is walkable areas, so that you can walk to restaurants, you can walk to different things, bike paths and parks, any recreation, and then certainly public transit again. So when you have your vision, what I highly recommend is that you actually make that list, and then you create what I call the ABC list. So A is the non-negotiables. You must have, let's say, live near your children or live near hospitals. And then a B list would be you'd like to have it. It's a nice amenity, but you could live without it. And then the C list is you really don't care that much about maybe having bike paths. Maybe that's not your lifestyle. So a third part of getting ready to steps that you can take would be to explore your options and to ask around. So when you research different options for where you might live, the type of housing you might want. So is it going to be a single family, just smaller? Is it going to be a condo, an apartment? Maybe you're going to want a nomadic lifestyle. But find out what's available in your area and also start to get some idea of pricing. Another thing to do there if you're exploring options is to talk to people who live there. What do they like? What do they not like? So in other words, you're starting to decipher the pros and the cons. And then the third thing to do would be to, it's like the toe in the water approach, where you actually go visit, let's say, Charleston, South Carolina. You maybe would vacation there for a period of time so that you can get a sense of what it would be like to live there. You might rent an Airbnb and try it on a longer term basis, or you might even consider renting it for a month or 6 months or even a year to say, I really like this or I don't. So those are ways that you can test the waters, so to speak. And then a fourth thing that you can do right now if you are considering downsizing is to establish a budget and a timeline for you to downsize. So I would strongly recommend that you be realistic about this. So many people think that their house is worth far more than it might be. Certainly the market keeps changing. So be realistic about your budget. And then for those things that you don't yet know, you may not have the exact house, but what is the neighborhood going for? Or, how much would that condo be? So you can get pretty good budget estimates and give yourself a range. And then what you also want to get budget estimates for are how much is it going to prepare your house to sell it? And then how much will it cost to actually sell it? And then also how much is it going to be to buy or to rent your new home? Also, there's moving expenses, so make sure that you're looking at how much it will cost to move, pack up if you need help packing up, and also then to purchase any new furniture that you might need for the new home or any upgrades that you might want to make. So those are some of the things that you want to put into your budget and your budget estimates so you're not fooled, and so that you can also say, it's not affordable for me, or that it is. And then the last thing that you can do right now is to actually prepare your home for sale, even though you may not be ready yet, but by decluttering, by purging what you don't want, what you don't need, what you won't use, and then actually get rid of it. And because in the new smaller home, you certainly won't have room for it. And you can also do some guesstimating. So if you are thinking about you need a 2-bedroom condo or a 3-bedroom home, you can then guesstimate that, okay, you might have a den/guest room. You might have a dedicated guest room or dedicated office. So you can kind of guess what you're going to need, and from there to start decluttering, downsizing, including pieces of furniture that you don't think that you'll be able to fit into a smaller home. The second thing to prepare your house for sale is any repairs. So those necessary repairs that might help sell the house, for instance, painting, lighting, cosmetic upgrades. And then the other thing that I strongly recommend is to stage your house as if it were for sale. So in other words, you're going to look much lighter, airier, and yet you might not, and you're going to be staging it really for living there until you are ready to actually move. So all of this will help you get ready for when the time does come and you're ready to pull the plug and say, yeah, let's go ahead and downsize. So regardless of whether you're ready to downsize in the near future or several years from now, you can really do yourself a favor by taking these steps right now to give yourself time to prepare and to make the best possible decision. And that would be for your life, the one that you want to create in retirement. So hopefully this was helpful to you. For anyone who's thinking about retiring, not quite ready yet, thinking about downsizing, not quite ready yet. So if you want a PDF of those 5 steps, I'll be glad to send it to you. Just reach out to me at ritawilkins@ritawilkins.com, and just in the in the subject line, just put 5 steps and we'll know what you want and we'll go ahead and send that off to you. So hopefully this was helpful, and I will see you again next week.